Hello guys, this is Meshach. Welcome to my video chat, and we're coming from work. Today I'd like to discuss a few things, and number one is a question that was raised by a young man the other day at church, and he asked a very interesting question. He says when he talks to his parents, he gets a feedback. When he talks to his friends, he gets a feedback right then and there. And he was concerned, why is it that when he closes his eyes or when he prays, he doesn't get an instant feedback from God? A voice right there telling him, yes, no, or I have heard your prayers and everything. Even though the fact that the angels are around us, God is with us, the Holy Spirit is there. So we got to converse, we got to have a good conversation about this. And one of the things that came out of the whole conversation was how we as human beings have so many things around us that make the voice of God disappear. And I'll just say my statement this way. Number one, when God came to talk to Moses, Moses was in the desert, in the wilderness, as a burning bush. He talked to him, and he came in a way Moses could understand. Moses was in the bush, and his thought was provoked by a bush burning. He then developed personal relationship with God, that they were having one-on-one conversation. Abraham also was having a one-on-one conversation. Remember when Abraham was out in front of his tent in the afternoon, and God shows up to his door, and he talks to him face to face, and God tells him what is going to happen in Sodom and Gomorrah. That was face to face. But when he comes to talk to the children of Israel that he has just saved from the hands of Pharaoh, the idolatry, he comes in this huge massive cloud, and these thunders and lightnings, and he descends to the mountain, and the people are shaken, and he calls Moses up to the mountain. Interestingly enough, when he was now coming to talk to Elijah, after Elijah had done a big miracle and fire came from heaven, and the priests of Baal were killed because of idolatry had come into Israel, Elijah ran away for his life, and just because of that, God said he's gonna show up to him after 40 days in the wilderness. He shows up to Elijah, and he shows up not in a wind like the one that separated the Red Sea. He shows up not in a fire like in the mountain. He shows up not in an earthquake like in the mountain. He did not come the way he came out on the mountain to the children of Israel, which is how Moses was expecting for him to do that. He came down amidst of all this in a still small voice. So back to my question. The young man asked, why don't I hear God just booming, his voice coming up clearly? And my thought process is a lot of things happen, but the major reason is we have so much noise around us. So much noise. I'll give you one noise that you have. This device I'm recording on, there is your friends, your parents, your loved ones, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife on this device. Constantly. These days we have Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Tinder, Instagram. Wait, Tinder is for the single ones. Instagram, I don't know what, Kik, Snapchat, whatever it's there. it's a constant conversation, and it's a lot of noise. Then you have TV at home. Then you have work. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with work. Then we have other things such as, and if I may just say, music that we listen to. All these things are noise, and because of that, we can't hear God. So when you shut down the noise, it really goes way ahead in helping us hear God. Just shut down the noise, and turning your device off or on silent, putting it away is one good way. The other thing is when you pray, when you read the Bible, when you meditate, after all that, the second point is shut down and listen, because God is talking right back to you, but you might not be listening because you've done that and you want to move on. We live in a life where we constantly want to move from one step to another. So when you do that, just calm down, take a stop, and walk away. And lastly is God shows up in different ways to different people. To some people, he shows up just like he did in a mighty voice. To some people, he shows up in a different way. God will only show up the way you can understand. He will not show up to me dressed like, let me say, I'll give you an example, dressed like someone from the North Pole. I would not understand. But if he shows up and he's talking to me like just someone down the street, I will be like, okay, I understand, and this is the voice of God speaking. So that's my 2 cents worth for today. Thank you for being here with me. And if you have any questions, post them down here and we can converse. Good day and God bless.